Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Season 6 Ocarina Time match. This morning we're between yoyocarina and Soli. Got Mad Monk Adam, and Drunus on comms for you with Malkley, and I should have asked how to pronounce this beforehand, but Ika?
Shika
is the other tracker. I'm Tom. I'm going to be restreaming and trying my best to keep up with the hints, which I usually fail at. So, I'm going to hand it over to your comments, you guys. All yours.
Awesome. Well, it's my pleasure to be joined by Mad Monk Adam 3 times, apparently.
Yeah, no, it's just Mad Monk Adam.
Yeah, we got a... True that. We have a pretty hype match here. Two very familiar faces for anybody who is constantly grinding races at pretty much any hour, honestly.
Right.
You can tell by the stats page, actually, yoyocarina has played a ton of races. Like, yoyocarina every morning is always in races. I always see him opening race rooms, pinging for races. Just a huge grinder. Soli, I'm pretty sure, is... like, most of these races are from pretty recently, too. So, Soli has been on the grind, pretty much down for a race any hour of any day.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of their name on Discord recently in the standard race rooms.
Yeah, and Soli, I'm not like too familiar with yoyocarina, but I'm pretty familiar with Soli. We like talk sometimes. We've talked over like some S6 stuff. He has a really good understanding of the game, and definitely uses a lot of very unique strats. So that's definitely something to look forward to. yoyocarina is definitely just a solid player all around.
Oh yeah.
Looking at their head-to-heads, it looks like they've actually only had one single 1v1 face-off, and that went
earlier
in
this month.
yoyocarina's favor. Yeah, just earlier this month.
Probably one of those early morning races.
I guess something else to point out that we were talking about that's funny with the stats screen here, before anybody gets confused, there's currently a bug with the stats screen where if a player wasn't in a previous season, it'll pull the stats for that seed from the previous season. I'm not sure who was the 17th seed in last season, but they actually lost to Yo-Yo Canary, who is yoyocarina, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, just a slight letter change.
It'd be very odd if those were two different people. So, as far as the stats page goes, it looks like yoyocarina lost to Yo-Yo Canary. So,
yeah.
Just a little funny thing to point out. I don't want anybody to look at this and get confused.
Right. And just real quick, the big pie graph in the middle, 22 races. yoyocarina come out 14/8. Pretty good spread, but as we've pointed out millions of times this season, all of the top 64 are right there in pretty much the same bracket in race ability.
Yeah, and because this pulls from like bigger races, I can say from experience that like 1v1s are a completely different environment. You're gonna play differently, you're gonna think differently. Like those stats are not indicative of a player necessarily being stronger than another in a 1v1 situation. Right. I personally think this is going to be a really close and interesting match. Yeah, let's get on the way.
Yeah.
Spawning in Valley. It's pretty nice. I actually really do like this spawn a lot. Right.
It means looks like Karina's going to go for immediate Valley Lake play here. I like it.
Yeah, I think when you're in this situation, it's easy to think, like, these are two checks that you normally don't have a really good opportunity to do, so, like, let's get them out of the way now. I think in Soli's shoes, he's probably thinking more ahead, thinking, like, what if I go to Lon Lon? I can find a scale there, if I can go to Lake, and then, like, follow through to Domain or something. That's pretty useful. So... Yeah, it's just kind of like it's really hard to make these kinds of decisions on the fly, and it's really hard to tell what decision will be the correct one.
All right, it's basically your gut reaction without your spawn, and that's Deku Tree to King Dodongo.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So hints that are path to King Dodongo are going to hint either like directly at a bomb bag or something leading to a bomb bag.
Right.
And considering like how much bombs typically lock in a seed, I would expect a super early Kokiri sword.
Right. Fox 2 dead. Alright, I'm getting some chickens. And it looks like... I'm not sure if Karina's going to have the time of day to make it into the ranch here.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's possible we might see him go for just an early adult here. Just get the Richard check out of the way and then just go straight adult.
Mm-hmm.
He could also like go in here, do the Richard check, and then like back out of Valley and just walk to Forest from Valley. That's definitely an option, and that would probably give you the correct time of day. Like by the time you walk to Forest and then reset again and then walk to Lon Lon from Valley, you would probably have the correct time of day.
Yeah. He did make it in time to do some of the day market stuff, though, which is nice.
So
oh, and here's our first song check, and that is Bolero.
Interesting. So that's going to be another song we can easily pick up as adult. Something I didn't really factor in as well is that they started with Requiem. If you warp to Colossus and get the song there, it will actually set your time of day to daytime.
I'm not sure. What time of day is it? It's like noon, like into Deku Tree, or?
Yeah, it's noon, like middle of
Okay.
day. So that's definitely an option for Yo-Yo if he wants to get that Lon Lon check before he goes adult, which I would probably say is a good idea.
Mm-hmm. These songs are just so powerful early, especially warp songs to get you more songs.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's Kokiri Forest to Queen Goma.
Okay, so you're really going to want to push that Forest, because that's either going to hint to your Kokiri Sword or Slingshot. Slingshot is not necessarily required for Deku Tree. There's obviously a technique to skip all of the Slingshot locked rooms in the Deku Tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you probably just go straight there, hoping for Kokiri Sword. If you don't find K Sword, you just get your song and leave.
Right. Also, that's a prelude out at the Colossus. That's Winter Heart Piece on Richard.
Nice. Isn't that like pretty much right next door to where it normally is?
Yeah. Literally right next door.
Yep.
I believe that was Pierre Dad.
Masquerang, 50, and Hammer in Goron City, all dead.
Yep.
And Yo-Yo is opting to go for the early adult.
Was that what?
Fire Shadow Jabu are these stones.
So that means that our medallions are Deku, Dodongu, Forest, Water, Spirit?
That's correct. Yes.
Interesting. Alright, so 2 child, 3 adult. Spirit and Water are the only ones that really have a unique item for them. So that turns out pretty well.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm a little surprised Yo-Yo decided not to go to Kokiri Forest as child. Knowing that there's like pretty good odds that your Kokiri sword's just sitting there. Of course, like I said, the hint could just hint to a slingshot, but since there are 3 slingshots, it's like a lot less likely that a slingshot will show up to be path.
Right.
And you know that your bomb bag is in Deku Tree, or at least something leading to your bomb bag is in Deku Tree. So, personally, I would think that would be a priority.
That was Storms in the crater.
And it looks like Soli knowing that this is a stone, just gonna hop in here and do a little scouting. Of course, you can peek that chest, although you can't get it. Thanks to chest textures matches contents and chest size matches contents, we know that that chest has a small key in it. So,
Yep.
not necessarily something you're going to be looking at coming back here for.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, full wallet is never a bad thing.
Alright. Wonder where Yo-Yo's gonna go now. Early adult CAC makes some sense. It's just, I'm really surprised he didn't try to go out towards the forest with that hint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a shame he's adult without grabbing that bolero first, especially with it leading to storms.
Yeah, that's rough.
Storms is something that you'll definitely want if you're making that trip over to the forest area. Because you got your Storms Grotto there. When you're a child, like, you can come to CAC and do the well and stuff. So Sully having this early Storms before doing a lot of child stuff is actually going to help him out a lot, I think. And it looks like Sully's opting to go to the river before going to CAC, which is pretty interesting. I don't think this is going to be very friendly for his time of day.
It really won't, but there is a Sphere Zero check here, and you can also get the other 2 checks out of logic. So it's not too bad.
Actually, chat pointing out, Sully got grabbed by the Redead in the market intentionally to get his health lower. So that he actually does this thing where he goes up, checks the item on top of the river, and then jumps down and takes fall damage so he can death warp to the bottom of river. I've seen him do it in previous races. It's pretty ingenious, actually.
That's interesting. Also, here is a slingshot just chilling in the windmill, so that's definitely the case order on our path.
Yeah, so because of tricks that we have enabled, that's actually, like you mentioned, it's Sphere Zero, so the path hint can only be pointing towards the K sword.
Also, that was Song of Time in the windmill.
Yeah, not immediately useful. Sully seeing the Deku Tree to King Dodongo hint for the first time. I believe the other copy was in River? Or, sorry, Valley? Not.
Yeah, Stone of Agony and Cow Cage. We also got Big Goron Dead on Sully's side from the grotto. And there's the other Frogs 2 hint. And boom. It's interesting. I have Vanilla Crate.
Yeah, that Death Warp is not something I've seen from anybody else, but I have seen it a couple times from Sully now.
It's an interesting little strat there.
Mm-hmm.
It does save you quite a bit of time walking back down.
Yeah, and it looks like with this time of day, he's going to be going to the forest instead of CAC, which is something I would imagine he's done many times. Like, I'd imagine this is something he's worked out and executed a ton of times, and this is just something that works out for him.
Especially with that Death Warp in the river. Makes a good good routing for time of day. And also, you can get everything but the sword chest here, so you'll know for a fact where the K-sword is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of
Which
course,
I'm going to guess it's that big chest right there.
Yeah. He doesn't have the information that the K-sword or something pointing to the K-sword is here.
Oh, it's hover boots.
But, yeah, those hover boots are pretty nice. And bomb shoes are very nice.
Hover boots, bomb shoes, and I believe he got a stick upgrade as well.
Yeah.
In Midos.
Yeah, so the small chests in Midos are actually paying off huge, and Yeah, hover boots to boot. Alright. Yeah.
Zora River to Phantom Ganon.
So that would have to be
Frogs
on
won,
the
'cause
Frogs
Frogs-
1.
Yeah. Which, we have Storms, so that works out. It's going to be rough for Yo-Yo because they didn't get Bolero in their child to do adult Bolero to get Storms. That's a vanilla K-Sword.
Quite possibly, yeah. Although it could be those hover boots.
It could be the hover boots. See, this early hover boots actually walk a little bit.
Yeah, like my first thought always goes to the checks in River, but River ended up being dead, so
Right.
hover boots are not going to be for that. It's going to be for something a little deeper, it seems.
There's a Mito skip without a aim weapon. Alright, Sacred Forest meta. Get another song and 3 hints here.
Yeah, so what I would expect to see here is he's probably going to pick up this song and then check a few, and then he's going to save, check a few bomb lock checks on his way out with those bomb chews, and then just reset to get the chews back if he doesn't find anything important.
Dongo's
Dongo's
Cavern to
Cavern
Morpha. Interesting. There's other River to Ganon. That's 4 of our 5 path hints already.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all basically linear. And there's Nocturne. Our K-Sword could just be in the first 2 checks of Shadow. And
That's
I believe
true.
that's Hammer Chested again.
Well, actually, with the hover boots, it could be pretty much anywhere in Shadow.
Yeah. Also, we still need Magic and Dins, but it's possible.
Yeah.
That was Hyrule Castle Fairy. Dins Fairy's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I always have a hard time seeing when it says outside castle if it was Hyrule or Ganon's.
Oh yeah, of course. Deku has the bomb bag, so Kokiri Sword could actually only be in the 4 first checks. So the truth lied somewhere in between what we were both saying.
Right. Also, yeah, that is the 20 pack on the Hyrule Castle Fairy, so if you get ZL early enough, it might be worth it to just waste a chew on it to get 20 more.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 chew for 20, definitely a good deal.
It's a very good deal.
But considering we haven't seen ZL yet, it's looking a little grim.
Mm-hmm. We actually might not need ZL this seed. You can do water if it's compass or map chest, I believe, without ZL.
Mm-hmm.
And then spirits, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 checks are ZL locked, the rest aren't?
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, it would be pretty interesting to see a ZL list seed, but usually not going to be the case.
Right. It's not very likely, but it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the first one of the season, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yo-Yo going to be making his way over to Kokiri Forest, so we will get to see the Kokiri sword chest, and we will have our answers on this path.
Right.
Which will be good for us. Soli being here at nighttime means he's gonna miss out on 1 check. It didn't actually have anything, but that's something he's gonna have to be thinking about.
Right. Orphaning checks is always rough.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, like, you can usually find a few reasons to come back to CAC at some point. There's always, like, CAC archery and turning in skulls and stuff like that, but,
Right.
it's definitely something that's gonna weigh on his mind, I would imagine.
All right. Slowly picking up his Song of Time there. We're about to see this chest. It is big.
Oh, it's big.
It is a vanilla K-sword.
Incredible. Alright, so don't have to worry about those hovers.
Right. Choose Ren Mato's house. Heaps. 40 is dead. I had forgotten that. Alright, that is the really unfortunate thing for Yo-Yo here is not having storms in this child section.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting because Yo-Yo's coming here without storms, and Sully is going child without the information that Kokiri Forest is Path the Deku. So we'll have to see if he goes out of his way to do the Kokiri sword chest. He did get the hint.
I think he got Kokiri Forest to Deku, but not Deku to Dodongo. Or he got Dodongo.
No, he got
okay.
Deku to... Yeah, Deku to DC was in River.
Right.
So I guess, yeah, you got the other hint in KF Storms. So, yeah. I guess he will have the information, and will probably be doing that chat.
Right. He's just double checking all these hints again for like the third time.
Yeah,
North
sometimes when
wind
you're
and
coming
icy
through
water.
here,
Interesting.
when you're coming through here and like you have the dungeon rewards on your mind, it's hard to remember 4 hints on top of all that.
Right. Also, that was Ferora's Wind on the icy waters. And this one is Sun Song, Grave is dead. Actually, does Soli have the time of day to do Dompe digging here?
It would seem so. Although I don't see Dompe, so I guess not.
That's rough.
But this might just be him heading towards the river, just to see what's there on his way to forest. I think it's probably the best way out of market. Like, you could save quit and go to Valley, but there's not really... I mean, you can do the 2 checks there, but not a whole lot else.
A well play. Or at least opening it up. Hey, there's a big chest. Is this our bomb bag? It is not, it's a bottle.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna be the path. Since we found another one in the CAC Grotto. So we'll have to keep looking. Yes, Sully gonna do a ZL as well here. Which is kind of interesting.
Right.
Like,
He does have to choose if he wants to...
Go Forest.
Right, now I don't have the Song of Forest yet, which could be CL. Also, you can save scum the choose, so you can get those 2-3 checks.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
2 big chests. First 2 chests he sees.
Light arrows. Well is required.
Yeah.
Mirror shield.
The mirror shield also required, so...
Yep.
So our bomb bag as expected.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised for our Twin Rover path to be well now.
Yeah, very true. Very
Oh, there's
likely.
another big chest. Deku? What you doing? Oh, another slingshot.
Another big chest.
Dear God.
So before this race started, we were talking about how we're kind of hoping for a jet seed here, and
Just because it's so early for a lot of us and got to get to work afterwards.
but with all these big chests, it's kind of looking maybe a little likely. Of course, it depends if this is anything useful, but
Right.
and it's not.
No. Always suit her safely, I guess. That's bottle, bomb bag, slingshot, and Nehru's Love in Deku Tree. Meanwhile, light arrows and mirror shield in bottom of the well that we could get to. Allegoria for meme percent, we've seen Stone of Agony, Winter Heart Piece, Nehru's Love, and we saw Greg on top of the volcano in the crater. There we go. Queen Goma is so easy when you actually have a slingshot.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it's hard anyway, but you can mess up the one cycle without it. Yeah, that is a big benefit for Yo-Yo there, is that there's not immediately necessary items.
Yeah, that's true. Like, we don't have a single strength yet. You don't have to worry about Mirror Shield for at least as long as it takes to find 2 strengths. And then, of course, light arrows are only useful right at the end of the seed.
Right. That with Spirit being a medallion and us having that slingshot early, I would not be surprised after Yo-Yo gets out here to the Sacred Forest meta song to see him go and do Child Spirit at least, or at least the first 2 checks.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is either a hookshot, a strength, or a bow.
You would think so. But also with the lack of a logical way to get to Forest Temple, it might be just something leading to either Sario's song or Minuet.
Yeah, that's true as well. I missed that hint completely. No, Sun's copy? Alright.
Soli just dumping the chicken in the water. He's already
bye-bye.
done his checks, so it doesn't matter to him. He's probably, I mean, not looking to continue to domain yet.
And it is the bow.
Wonderful.
Which is kind of funny because that could still just lead to Minuet or Sarius, because Water Temple is a Forest Medallion, and it does require a bow for 1 check.
But at any rate, it still means that bow is going to logically lock every other bow, so...
Right, we know there's a bow on Hammer Chest. We got that hint.
Yeah, but the way, like, the Fire Temple key layout usually works out is that map chest is usually a key that is required to progress in the dungeon.
Yeah, it's usually bow locked. Oh, hey, look, Iron Boots on Ocarina minigame.
Interesting. So our path to Morph is looking a little juicier now. Of course, we know there's a Zora Tunic on Skull Mask, so the Morpha hint can't be hinting towards that. I think it's probably just going to be straight up. Well, it's either going to be like a straight up long shot or like something leading to ZL, or maybe a strength. Strength can be required for water as well.
Also, that's a third bottle.
Oh yeah. So the
So
only
the only
one
bottle we're missing is Rudo's letter.
Yeah, which is the subjectively important one. Of course, in this seed, Jabu being a stone, potentially not useful, but...
Right. It really depends on what's in ice. I mean, we know Furoris is behind it at the bottom of Icy Waters, but that's about it. No, we also know Rain Chest is dead.
Right, yeah.
Alright. Boom. Alright, there we go.
So I'm pretty excited to see what this song up here is going to be. I would fully expect it to be ZL, but the way S6 seeds have gone, in my experience, is that ZL is usually locked away pretty late in the seed.
Yeah. That seemed a bit of a trend. Either late ZL or you start with it, one of the two. It is Serenade. Okay then.
So looking at potential lullaby spots, behind water or behind AD?
Behind water, behind AD. It can't be an ice for logic.
Oh yeah, Shadowstone. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, Shadows of Stone, so it can't be all dungeons.
So yeah, I guess it just has to be behind water.
Which means we got a super early boss key in water.
So the reason it can't be AD is because ZL is required to beat Shadow Temple.
The boat.
So ZL can't be locked behind Shadow Temple.
So we have, and it can't be ice because you logically need ZL to get into Domain as adult.
Correct. Yep.
So our songs checks left are
Prelude, Burning Cack. That's it.
It can't be on the Composer's Grave either because you need ZL to get into it. So it literally can only be behind water.
So if it is actually on Burning Cack, we could get the ZL list seed that you were talking about.
Right. Oh lord. Yeah, it was Bow to PG.
Yeah, why was I saying Longshot was going to be in DC as if we had found the hookshot? We have not seen a hookshot yet.
It could just be a hookshot and then long shots in forest.
Maybe they're just both in there. Who knows?
Yeah. Not checking the maze. Apparently, you can just do it as adult. Still, being without storms, you're walking right past that grotto.
Ooh, another big chest.
Oh. Trail wall. A wallet. Okay. That it. A nut.
I have to say, like, doing all these checks as child when you have Bolero and you're gonna want to do DC like immediately when you go adult is a little interesting. He probably has some kind of plan in mind, like maybe he's planning to take care of chickens here or get those last 2 skulls to turn in 10.
Right, hasn't done a child cack yet. Wait for time of day.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to get Dompe out of the way while he's in the area, which I can respect that.
Oh yeah. I don't mind the time of day wait here. I doubt you will ever see a child Dongo's Cavern in Season 6. And if you do, someone's
Yeah.
memeing really hard.
Yeah, I think the last time I've seen it in like an actual main tournament was I think ATZ did it once in like
Yeah.
season 1 or 2 or something.
Season 2, I remember that.
Yeah. And I think I remember him saying he regretted doing it. I think he said like he didn't think it would be that bad, but it ended up costing a lot of time.
Oh, it's horrible. After doing it as adult, I never want to do it as child in vanilla ever again.
Mm-hmm. You really forget like how many extra side rooms there are that you end up skipping as adult.
At least 2 quote-unquote mini boss fights. And then like 4 rooms that require slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh yeah, the container definitely worth it. Yeah, no, I usually like to have about 6 hearts. It just makes me feel comfortable to have at least 6. I know you can get by with just 5, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 6 is definitely comfy. I'll usually stop opening small chests at 5, because that's like the bare minimum that I want. But usually, like, you do that with the intention that like I'm gonna talk to enough NPCs where I can't see what reward I'm gonna be getting. So
Yeah.
like I will get that 6th heart or 7th heart for safety eventually, and I won't really be like hurting for time or anything.
That's fair.
But yeah, in Yo-Yo's shoes, like if I saw the heart container just sitting there in front of me and I was sitting on 5, I would take it.
Mm-hmm. Right. But with bombs and bomb chews, now 6 hearts, not going to see any more small chest. Right, we do have 1 wallet and a bunch of bottles.
Mm-hmm. And a stone fire.
Yeah. You don't realize until you play stuff like Randomizer just how much you want a hookshot and a strength before you do anything.
Yeah.
Alright, this is river play for Yo-Yo. Gonna grab at least 1 bean.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's thinking he's gonna come here and potentially get an item. We of course know that he's not. This is gonna require storms, which is on his adult Bolero check.
Right, and going adult just to check Bolero would feel really bad.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when your item could, like, it could potentially just be sitting right here, so.
Right. But, if you're doing an age change, you kind of want to stick around for at least a little bit on that age. Unless it's like the last check you need to do at that age. Just because it feels so bad to have to do a bunch of age changes. Mainly because they take so long.
Soli picking up his 3rd bottle.
Gotta love all those bottles. I mean, if we have to do Ice Cavern, at least it'll be quick. We're still missing a path and a 30 hint, aren't we? And an OOT hint.
Mm-hmm. I think we're missing Burning Cack as well.
Oh yeah, we are missing Burning Cack as well. Alright. This should probably be an immediate Bolero play to go towards Forest. Would be my guess.
Yeah, or I think he's probably gonna just like Bolero into DC.
Yeah, that too.
Like clearing Goron City along the way, and then once he's on DC, like if he doesn't have any immediate direction, probably just head straight back Child and do your Frogs 1.
Right. Yeah, the path will be to Twinrova, which could help us out pointing towards a strength, but it's most likely just going to say well for the hover or for the mirror shield. I always go by the logic your paths are going to screw you over if you already found an item for that dungeon. It seems to happen often enough. Yeah, no, that's just a green rupee up there. As memey as it is, nobody's going to hover over there just to grab it.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Like, if this was a weekly, maybe someone would grab it, but not during a race.
And Sully gonna be doing Child Spirit here.
Which, I was expecting Yo-Yo to do this in his first child, but it'll be interesting to see what's here. And to see if we're like adults is key locked or something. But with the start of Requiem, this just makes these are basically available immediately because of the Sphere Zero slingshot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see how high he goes. Because at this point, like, you have Bow, you can probably get a hook shot out of DC. Like, that's, I think, just about the only thing you're gonna find there.
Yeah, we already have irons, and we know that Big Goron is a sword tunic. So it's either a hook or it's like the trade item.
Yeah, and we know that ZL is gonna be behind water, so, like, it's not gonna be something leading to ZL.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, like, at this point, there's definitely an
Oh,
argument
hey,
to be
look,
made.
letter.
Oh, hey, our fourth bottle.
Yeah, our fourth bottle. That was on Trail Storms.
So there's definitely an argument to be made. Well, he doesn't have any keys anyway, so nothing to think about. But I was gonna say
Right.
there's like an argument to be made that like you have enough direction at this point that you don't necessarily have to climb Spirit. Like you have other stuff you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But the game didn't even give him a choice. It's just gonna be clearing out Lake here, probably planting a bean, and then heading straight back to Adult to clear out DC.
Which, as we saw from Yo-Yo, we didn't see any of this side of the lake because he didn't have enough money to do fishing, so he didn't even just come over here at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know dive spot, we don't know fishing, and we didn't see a scarecrow set up. DC hint was the Icy Waters repeat. Right, there are 4 ZL lock checks in Spirit, but it is entirely possible to complete it without ZL, depending on key layout. Yeah, the 2 hands
Yeah.
on the inside. The one that pops onto the hand, and the one that pops up onto the ledge beside the hand that has the Triforce mark on it.
Yeah, and then you've got Compass Chest and Boss Key Chest.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing so far in DC. Just heading to the upper half now.
14 tokens. Nothing on child fishing, it looks like.
14 feels pretty aggressive for this point in the seed.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't really gone out of his way too much for any.
Mm-hmm. Maybe just knowing that like skulls aren't necessarily something that Sully prioritizes, so maybe just thinking like this is one way to get like a foot in the door in the seed.
Right.
We're gonna see our first big chest here in DC, just up on the bridge. Fully expecting to see a hook shot.
Yeah. No, Din's fire.
Okay, that's a little unexpected.
We now have Hovers and Din's Fire. We are magic away. Well, yeah, 'cause we also got Nocturne. We are magic away from being able to do a couple of checks, or a lot of checks in Shadow.
Yeah. Yeah, the hook shot's actually, like, it's only going to be required for anything after the Redead Silver Rupees room, so there are quite a few checks we can do in there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 checks?
I'll take your word for it.
First two in the room with the BMOS. And then you go through the door, you had the one off to the side, and the 3 in the Crusher room, and then the one from killing... Oh, there it is.
Damn it. The seed keeps doing this to us. We're like, it'll give us a shadow item, we're like, ooh, shadow? And then it's like, no, the item's just here.
I'm pretty sure it's 9, though, before you need a hook shot. Is the Nocturne out of logic? Oh, yeah, that's right, because we hopped over, Ocarina of Time is Sons. Alright, yeah, Adult SFM. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we would at least need ZL to get one of our songs that leads to
Nocturne.
the Forest
Logically,
Temple, and yeah, Nocturne by extension.
Oh, hey, look, some Bombchu bowling. Yeah, one path, which is the Twin Rova path, and the 30 hints. And BK. A wallet. Second wallet. Buy Blue Fire. Oh, and Big Goron Sword. It's just 2 convenience items.
Choosing to go for the Big Goron Sword here, though.
Yeah, Sully doesn't want the second wallet.
It's potentially a little bit of a spicy decision, not knowing where Rudo's ladder is at the moment.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, as we know, it's not going to be hard required, so...
Right. But, Yo-Yo, buying a shield. Buy a shield, you cowards.
Of course, we like to joke that the Big Goron Sword saves you 30 minutes in the seed. So, yeah, Sully going to be picking up that 30-minute time save, of course.
Alright, this is back to Child for Yo-Yo, most likely. Gonna check the Boulder of Destiny, of course.
I think, honestly, with those iron boots, he might opt to check quite a bit here.
Yeah, I can see him going over to Tektite as well.
Yo-Yo didn't set Scarecrow, did he? Like, he just avoided that whole side of Lake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because with the spawn, he just did immediately Valley Lake loop, and he didn't pick up any money.
Yeah, we have seen Tektite on Sully's side, and already know that it's dead. Magic would be exciting, but unfortunately, not going to be the case.
Right. No, but back to Bolero. I'm actually surprised if I'd go back Child with that Storms to get his bow or another hook. Well, no, he knows it couldn't be a hook shot now because he found one in DC. Well, it wasn't hook shot locked.
Yeah, I wonder what this plays towards. I guess when he went to DC, he went out the top, so didn't check any of the Scorn City stuff.
Right. He just Oh, he hasn't done the SFM yet. He also
That's
skipped
true,
Maze.
yeah. Yeah, I guess if you're planning to go Child here,
oh wow,
just for the Frogs 1 check, you're probably thinking like, well, I may as well clear the well while I'm there, and ZL could be in the forest, so I may as well go there.
Right.
But it does feel... it feels a little bad going up towards Forest Temple, knowing that an item for Forest Temple is sitting in your Child, basically.
Right. You also could opt to check the first 2 checks. Or the Courtyard of Forest, because you do have Song of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Link to Goron, just giving us a little bit of pocket change. Alright. So yeah, this will be Forest. No checks here, he hasn't done his Child already. Only checks left are the Skull Kid. Oh, he also has to check this. Then have Storms on his first Child loop.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Rudos for Soli. We're hoping we don't have to see that turned in.
Yeah, really. Yo-Yo with the nice clean setup that's not working for some reason. As far as I can tell, he's doing it correctly, but I think he might just be targeting the wrong part of the wall.
Right, no, Mido's just got a fat head.
That too. Yeah, that's definitely true. Oh, you can Mido skip, it's just not in logic.
Right.
So the logic doesn't think this is possible, but we don't care. We want our song.
We don't want to have to do all dungeons from Minuet. The setup for the glitchless jump is nice. Oh, I know, but what I mean is we made Mido skip not be against the rules because nobody wants to do all dungeons for Minuet.
Yeah, plus honestly, like the trick is pretty trivial.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I
And-
can do it, and I suck.
Although typically, like, the difficulty behind the trick doesn't usually go into like consideration for allowing or disallowing it, but things were a little different back when the rule set was first made.
Right. Alright. Nothing there. But you know, these first few checks of Forest, I'm not surprised to see this. You have time, so you can do all of Courtyard. Can't do Dead Hand or Floor Master Room though, because no strength. No, you have hovers. You can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget you can get there with hovers. I'm too used to strength, pushing the blocks, and then doing the recoil.
And I guess this dip also makes sense from Yo-Yo's perspective. When he's been pushing these skulls really hard, gonna be able to pick up like a few quick ones here, and he's actually getting really close to 20 at the moment.
Right, you can get 4 here. She's already grabbed 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's sitting
uh,
at 17, so...
Right, they're gonna get right up to 20 here.
Yeah.
Alright, there's a key. So 1 key in the first 2 checks.
Yeah, I think dipping is fine. There's like a 50% chance that the forest access you're going to find is Minuet. And you know logically you're never going to have to come in here to find your long shot. So, like, I think you just go elsewhere looking for your long shot, and then just hope you get the Minuet.
Mm-hmm.
And since you're already here to grab the song, it just makes sense to dip and, I don't know, see what you can find. Maybe there's an out-of-logic bow or something.
Right. I mean, this is technically, alright, yeah, it can't be long shot because all of your access is locked behind hook shot.
Yeah,
I was about to say, this is technically hook locked, so... Usually when I have a pathed hook, I go and look at all my hookshot lock places for my long shot, but then, of course, when you get like this, where all your access to most of your hook is locked places is long shot locked.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Trying to think of, like, where this long shot could potentially be at this point. Because it can't be, like, anywhere in the Gerudo area.
No.
Probably not in Spirit, given that we have 0 strengths.
What else is hook locked? Could it just be... so the 2 checks we can get in water without ZL, could just one be boss key and the other be long shot?
Maybe. Have we seen chickens?
We haven't seen
I guess
chickens.
there's like the rest of field that we haven't cleared out. Yeah, there's Adult Lake.
Southfield and Remote Grotto.
I think, yeah, like this is nice because we have a pretty good lock on where Longshot could be. Like it's very limited at the moment, but
Adult Lake, we got beans.
yeah, I think we might see Soli play for like the lake and field.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's working with all of the information at the moment. And he does have Scarecrow set up, so...
We have not seen adult shooting yet, but we'll probably see it right here.
But then on Yo-Yo's side, like, it's entirely possible that the long shot is just sitting on 10 or 20 skulls. I guess he already turned in 10, so it's not there, but 20 skulls long shot is definitely a possibility. And would definitely benefit Yo-Yo.
Right, but we've already seen quite a few available bottles, so I don't think a hookshot locks 20 skulls.
Well, the hookshot doesn't have to lock the other hookshot. It's
Right,
the
because it was
hookshot's Pathomorpha.
not
Yeah.
path to Phantom Ganon. I'm always thinking path to Phantom Ganon.
It's okay. I did the same thing earlier with the river path, so I was
All
like,
right.
oh yeah, we found a bow there. And then I'm thinking like, we're gonna find the long shot in DC because we have hook shot. Nope.
Right. Okay. Brain. So that could technically just be our long shot instead of just being a hook shot locking our long shot. Alright. Does Yo-Yo's not going for the wallet either, which makes sense. You know where Zora Tunic is, and you know where you have Ruto's letter, so that second wallet's not really useful for anything.
Mm-hmm. Yo-Yo's standing a little too close to the front there. Sully finally picking up this Anju check. And as expected, he's playing Serenade out of here.
Mm-hmm. Adult Lake makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah. So I'd imagine this is just going to be Adult Lake straight into South Hyrule Field. And I think his chances of finding Longshot are extremely high in these next, like, 5 or so checks.
No, this is a water temple dip.
No, he's just going to open it and then leave. It's fine. Okay, he's gonna dip it. It's fine. I mean, you can only do 2 checks here, so I guess like a water temple dip isn't too expensive in terms of time.
Right.
But
I mean, you know one of these 2 checks has to be your... Sully,
yeah,
what are you doing? You know
one
your...
of these is boss key.
You know
He's
your
just,
ZL is locked behind it.
yeah, he's just doing this to make sure he never has to come back.
If Longshot is just chilling in here, I will eat my hat. This is one of the reasons I don't like doing Compass first. It's just because of these stingers.
Yeah, the stingers suck, but I think like with this dip, Sully's probably here to do both of the checks no matter what. So even though this is boss key, I think he still goes to map. I'm just wrong about everything. Never mind.
You don't need ZL for that check. That's why. But now if Longshot is actually just chilling in there, it sucks for Soli.
Yeah, definitely. Yo-Yo gonna be cleaning up these checks as child. Bombing open the grotto, realizing he doesn't have enough rupees. So gonna have to farm a little bit here, maybe bomb a beehive in this other grotto.
A beehive was like, what, 20% for red rupee or something like that?
I think something like that. I know it's pretty bad odds, but the long shot's just here.
Oh,
so-
okay.
Just chilling. Pretty much
Chilling in open
just
grotto.
just as we expected. Somewhere around this area. So Sully gonna pick that up within the next minute or so. We're finally gonna see Zelda's Lullaby within the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, that would make Dodongo's Cavern long shot because that's Sphere 0.
Sort of true. Also, we have
True.
DC Path to Twin Robo. That is quite the hint. So it has to be the Dins because
Yeah.
the hook shot was probably
Already
the
a path.
Morpha. I mean,
Yeah.
Dins didn't lock any hook shots, so yeah. So Dins Path to Robo. I guess that's not that interesting because
Just
a lot of
key logic.
Firelock stuff in
Yeah.
Spirit. Man. So yeah, that's just about the least useful item they could have hinted towards Twin Robo.
Yeah. Hint us a strength, damn it. This little Iron Boots cheese here. Gotta love it. For Lab Dive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, logically, the game expects you to dive down there with Gold Scale, but if you unequip your iron boots mid hook shot, the game, I guess, recognizes that you're at the bottom of the pool without iron boots on. And it's just like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's give him the item.
Yo-Yo not buying a bean, but that's okay. He has long shot. And we've seen everything that could be being locked.
Mm-hmm.
If ZL is on Burning Cack here, that means we have 2 strengths just kind of chilling somewhere.
Oh, it's a stick. I thought that was... Like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a stick. But then he ran forward to grab it. I was like, oh, it's a hammer? But no, it's just a stick. Yeah, it's going to be funny because, like, if ZL's on Burning Cack, these 2 players are not getting ZL.
Right. Also, just picking up some brain word memory things. Extra money there. We're going into domain by playing Song of Time for the Frogs. I like when you're coming to check that check anyway and you need money, just playing another child song for them to get a bit of extra money is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we'll see the check here that Yo-Yo skipped from not having money, from being broke. It was more money.
Huh. He could have used that.
Yeah.
And there's a long shot for Sully, so gonna clear out this last check, make sure not to orphan anything here, and then gonna be heading straight into water to kill Morpha. And then, yeah, we'll finally get our answer, because ZL has to be either Prelude or Burning Cack, and
Yeah.
if it's not Prelude, it's gonna be quite the spicy logic.
I had spoke it into existence. Alright. This looks like a 2-dive for Yo-Yo here.
Yeah, pretty nice layout. It's that easy. Just
that easy.
just get good luck.
This is not a water play from Soli. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, looks like he's looking towards GTG. I guess, like, beating water and getting ZL potentially is not going to help you do any checks in GTG. You're closer to GTG than you were ever going to be.
Right.
Like, if you warped out and cleared water, like, you're never going to be this close to GTG. So it kind of makes sense. Although, like, getting ZL opens you up to the potential of getting a bonus song, which can definitely be useful for clearing out this area. So it is like a little bit of a spicy play.
Now here is Yo-Yo doing the Child Spirit cleanup I expected way earlier. Hammer rocks are dead here in the valley.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, like, I mean, with Medallion Spirit, like, you should definitely do it pretty early anyway, but, like, you're this far into the seed, you don't have a single strength. You gotta be thinking, like, one of them is likely in here if I can get through here.
Right.
But, of course, we know he's not going to be able to go anywhere.
Well, luckily, these first 2 chests, you actually don't have to go and get to them to see them, which is nice here in Child Spirit. Like, you don't even have to get the bridge down. You can literally just walk up there and peek it.
Yeah, it's one of the many benefits of having these chest texture, chest sizes, match contents. Yeah, Yo-Yo actually kind of lucky that he missed the shot there, or he would have had to sit through a tiny little cutscene, but it's nice to save time wherever you can. Even if it's by mistake.
All right, with long shot, I would not be surprised to see Yo-Yo immediately go water here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was within my expectations. All right. So, pathing for GTG is always an interesting question. I always say if you have Song of Time, go right side first every time.
Yeah, for me, like the deal breaker used to be at least if I have strength 2, I'll go left. If I don't have strength 2, I'll go right.
Mm-hmm.
But with CTMC, CSMC, I typically just go to the right anyway and just peek the maze from that side. You can see everything except like the very far left chest. So like at maximum you'll know that like you need 2 keys max or however many to get to whatever checks are in the maze.
Right.
So I'll always just peek the right side, grab 2 keys, do the rest of the left side, or like left side maze. And Soli is grabbing some keys here, or at least 1 key, so there must be a big one back there. It looks like there is at the 4 key locked.
I have no idea. But is that 4 keys counting the 2 keys for right side that it logically requires?
No, not counting like the logic. So logically, I think it would
Okay.
be like logically those chests are 6 and 7 keys, but
Yeah. Practically 4, logically 6, yeah.
yeah. Because of course logic assumes that you're just
An idiot.
the dumbest person playing the game.
Logic assumes that you'll use your keys in the worst way possible.
Yep. Very nice quick kill on Morpha there.
Which is actually why I think this will be ZL here on Prelude. Because with no keys on child side, I expect it to give us 2 on adult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely more likely that it will. And like already seeing 2 checks in Spirit makes it pretty likely that you're gonna have early keys. Like you gotta have early keys somewhere, right? So like
Right.
those first checks are pretty early in logic.
That was a Goron tunic.
Yeah, so having an item there is a little interesting.
Means there's well, I guess it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because we didn't see like map chest or anything, so like we don't know if there's an item there.
Alright. Gonna check Shoot the Sun here. There's the 3 more keys solely needed. But gonna keep going and check more. What is that?
Seeds.
Seeds. It's so hard to tell the yellow colored items in the sun.
Oh, we have a big chest here. Hammer locked. Interesting.
I always forget this is hammer locked.
And one that is just hookshot locked. Well, I guess technically long shot locked, since we needed to get over here in the first place.
Hey, look,
Was
a
it
strength.
If this
It's
is strength
hammer locked.
2,
This
I
is
will
another
eat
thing
my
I'm all
non-existent hat.
out. It's
Okay,
scale.
it's a scale.
All right, a scale and strength. That's all of Forest Temple.
Mm-hmm.
That strength is hammerlocked, though.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting logically. We are gonna see this big chest back here. This could be strength 2.
This could just be hammer for that strength.
It. I don't think that's true.
No, it's just ice arrows.
Yeah, because like this chest is 6 key locks, so we would need strength 2 logically to get here based on the keys that we've seen, I think. Or
No.
he must have left a few, right? Or
Yeah,
like
there was
one
some.
section?
There was at least one on that ledge there.
Oh
The
yeah, that's right.
freestanding.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one on top of where the statue was. Which he grabbed that one, actually. So...
Toilet could have been one, I guess. And then that would
Yeah.
put that chest into logic.
Something like that, yeah.
See, I guess it very well could have been, but...
Yeah, 3 quick keys left between toilet and strength 2 locked.
Mm-hmm.
So, if one was on toilet, it would have been perfectly fine without strength 2.
Interesting.
Getting the quick morph grab here, putting him in the door. Oh no.
Oh no.
That always feels bad. But that is kind of a difficult corner for him.
Yeah, it sucks when, like, you get the hard part of the trick and then mess up the easy part.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited to see what's sitting here at Temple of Time for us.
Mm-hmm. This will tell us a lot. I'm really hoping it's not ZL, but I'm expecting ZL.
Yeah, it's just gotta be.
It's ZL,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunate.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a well play now from Yo-Yo.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's what he's going for here.
If we just have a strength sitting down there on dead hand.
Ooh, that
When
might
does Soli go back to well?
might be a little spicy, yeah. Could be like hammer down there too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's, 4 ZL locked. We saw 2 of them. I can't remember what they were.
And of course with ZL,
A
I
lot
guess
more
like
song checks.
logically we have a bit of forest, or not any more than we've already seen. I wonder where this hammer is.
Right.
Of course, we could just find like a strength somewhere and then hammers in the rest of forest to get a strength 2 or something. So I wonder where Sully's gonna take this ZL.
Hmm.
I mean, probably Composer's Grave first.
Yeah. No, Bolero.
So it looks like we're gonna do DMT Fairy first. Or...
Nope, changed his mind. Composer's Grave.
Yeah. So I think
Keep
he's
going us.
probably gonna hope that Minuet's here so that he can just warp to forest and start clearing away.
Was that a quick torchlight? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, a lot of people are, at least like most of the racing community, are familiar with the concept that like you can put away a stick, and as long as like the last frame of the stick being put away is in the torch, then when you pull it back out, it'll be lit as long as the torch is still loaded.
Right.
What a lot of people don't know is that you can pull the slingshot instead while the stick is in the torch, and you'll still get that flame storage the same way. It's
Yeah,
just you
I
can
did
do it a
not
lot
know that.
quicker.
A soil patch skull here to hit 20, I believe.
Yeah, this will be the 20th skull. Still no 30 hint as far as I can remember.
Yeah, no 30 hint.
We do not know where logical forest access is, although I can only imagine it's probably an ice cavern at this point. I
Ice
think it
cavern.
has to be ice. Yeah, ice and burning cack.
Yeah. With suns on AD, it's ice and burning cack for Minuet and Sarius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as far as songs that we have access to right now, like ice is definitely in play, forest is definitely in play.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are cheering for Yo-Yo, you are definitely going to be looking towards these dead hand checks in the well.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Sully's just rushing fairy fountains now.
Yeah.
Looking for a strength 2, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Gold scale.
Hmm.
Are we just a strength 2 from go mode?
We still need magic.
Oh, magic, yeah.
But I mean, like, with the amount of checks that are in spirit, the chances of finding magic in there are pretty good. Not necessarily the best, considering, like, we know spirit is going to be magic locked in some regard.
Right. Probably just key logic.
But yeah, if it's just something where, like, you need magic to get your 5th logical key, then it could be a lot of checks there that are logically available.
Right.
Seeing chickens, gold rupee. You can see
check
20
20
skulls.
And then
Pretty
we'll see
exciting.
well.
Just a red rupee.
Right, because we're still missing, what, 3 checks in forest now? 4, somewhere between 3 and 5 checks in forest. I can never remember how many are past courtyard.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've seen Floormaster too.
Yeah.
Wait, did we?
Yeah, we saw Floor Master.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
So it's boss key chest. Oh, I honestly completely forgot about bow chest and the 2 pose.
Yeah, there's quite a bit left in here.
So you have boss key chest, the 2 pose, bow chest, checkerboard, basement, Phantom Ganon, and I'm probably missing one.
Also, I didn't notice this on Soli's side, but I believe we've seen all of the keys in bottom of the well. So Dead Hand is
Yeah.
2 checks. So it's pretty, I'm not going to say good odds that something are here, but the best odds possible that an item could
Right.
be here.
Yeah, we saw all 3. Right, that early storms just really pushed Soli ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Is really where it happened. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say there were like little things in the early game that I would probably consider mistakes. Like going adult without checking a single child song when you start child. Uh, Having the information for like where your potential Kokiri sword is leading to your bomb bag. Like having all that information and not acting on it is potentially a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Alright, dead hand was nothing.
Yeah, so well is not going to pay out for Yo-Yo any more than it paid out for Soli already. In fact, this was like a tiny bit of a time sink coming into dead-handed doing these checks.
Right. So this has been a fairly linear seed.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, especially like, I don't know, like, even the items like long shot, where it's like you kind of have to figure out where it is. Like, you were limited to very few checks.
You really are. Like, until we get magic, we just have no access to Shadow. Which could potentially be strength with that Din's Path, but the Din's Path is most likely just for key logic.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Solly, that was that, that was incredible. I've never seen that.
He's skipping straight to the checkerboard room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're not.
Yeah, well, he's gonna need this key.
Right.
So yeah, he's doing the 3-key forest route. So that would be his third key.
Right. Which is hilarious that this can be your first bow as well.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, logically, your first bow can be on that check.
If you have enough keys.
Yeah, and magic and dins and
all that good stuff.
It's just a whole, a whole thing.
I've seen it happen.
I've seen in Dungeon ER somebody's first hookshot being on that check. But that was in a planned seed. So
oh lord!
It was their bud design. Didn't make it any less funny though. And it looks like Yo-Yo's gonna be opting for an ice play.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Sarius, that's 2 more checks. But
if it's Minuet, it gives you faster access to Forest later, which is someplace you don't really want to walk to twice.
Right, because he doesn't have strength yet.
I'm not sure if I would have chosen this over GTG. But it's it's a thing you can do.
Also, that is a good point, B. You don't need a hook shot at all inside a forest just to get into it. Which is kind of funny.
I think like the optimal forest equips are like you use your hookshot to get in, and then you just equip bombs over hookshot and use that to ground jump if you have hover boots. Which is actually what Sully has done here. Like you can see the equips right on his side there.
Magic
Okay,
was
magic
ZL
is good.
locked. So depending
Magic
on that other
is-
magic location.
That's a pretty big find for Yo-Yo. That gives you shadow access. That's quite a few checks.
Oh, he's also going to pick up Forest Wind here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would be surprised if he doesn't, because that's just, even if it takes a while to get down here, you know it's down here, and it's a pretty good time save in several places. There's actually several places you can use it in forest that'll save you some time. Like this room that Sully's about to enter with the twisted hallway, because Forest Wind will save the flags of the room you're in when you set it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got a big chest.
Mm. Another bow.
Yes, that's
Right.
actually our last bow that we know about. We know there is one sitting up at the top of Fire Temple. So we know where
Which
all of
we're
them are
hoping
now.
we'll never see in this seed.
Yeah, we're never gonna see that one.
So we literally a strength from go mode.
Yeah, as far as our perspective, at least.
Mm-hmm. From their perspective, they're both missing a couple items. Actually, Sully is just missing a strength and magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
And
Solid
then,
needs
of
the
course,
strength and magic, and then Yo-Yo needs the 2 strengths. So
right. Which I'm not sure when or if Sully will come out towards Ice Cavern
yeah,
or Jabu Jabu to get that fairy fountain.
I guess like kind of an interesting point to bring up is that for all the items that these two are missing, like there is an extra one floating out there. So like Sully could
very
just
true.
find another magic. Yo-Yo could find like 2 different strengths that aren't in GTG. Like it's kind of interesting thinking that like this could still go either way. Like there could literally just be 2 strengths sitting here in ice. This is a big chest right
Right.
here. This could just be one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although it's probably hammer, but
I'm gonna laugh at Hammer. Oh, it's a
okay.
strength.
There's a strength.
Okay. So Sully's go mode is just out here at Ice Cavern.
Yeah. And I mean, like if he doesn't find the other magic, he's running out of plays pretty quick. Like magic
Mhm.
would lead you into shadow, but if you don't have that option, like where else are you gonna go?
That's very true. I mean, he still has a lot of fire, even though it's a stone. All of Jabu, which would get him that magic.
Yeah.
But not the strength.
It doesn't have Rang, but
Right.
so I would imagine like you probably make the. I mean, like what if you turn in letter and then you just decide like I'm gonna do the fairy fountain while I'm here, and you grab the magic there, and then you don't end up going to ice because now you can go to shadow.
Mm-hmm. Well, nothing in those two. So we have the last chest and the song. Oh yeah, and King Weep. But hour and a half in, we're 1 item from go mode on both. Where we know we're in no mode, which is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Though one of our pieces of no mode is locked behind a hammer, we have no idea where it's at least logically.
Yep, but as long as we can get the pieces we actually need,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to care about logic.
Okay. It says Minuet or Sarias. Minuet would be preferable here just for faster access for Yo-Yo to Forest Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Sarias would add 2 checks for more strength checks. Or possible strength checks. Pain or Minuet. Alright.
Yeah, so that's exactly what he wanted.
Oh, yeah.
The big question here is going to be, when does he get out to GTG? Like, you really have to hope that if you're cheering for Yo-Yo, like, you gotta hope that he makes the GTG choice over the Shadow choice.
Right.
Whereas Soli kind of doesn't really have a choice. Like, you're going to ice. It's... I mean, he'll have to turn in the letter, like, maybe he'll spend some time doing some child checks and stuff like that, but at this point, like, there's not really any good plays. Like, you could dip back into water, but you've already seen one of the checks there.
So there's only 3 items left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is Forest for Yo-Yo, which makes a lot of sense for him.
Yep.
Oh, trying to get the quick kill at the gate sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Mainly because he can fly right through the gate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey.
That, reflect on the ball was pretty funny, because
Yeah,
he's
it was.
facing the complete opposite direction. But you know, whatever
Alright.
works.
It depends on... Alright, what's Phantom Gain have? This will tell us if, If this has strength, I might just laugh. It's the rain.
Okay.
That could push him through Jabu.
It could. I would imagine it won't. But it definitely could.
Yeah, Sully still has to turn in letter, so might just stay there as child and do that, but I'm not sure.
So we're getting Requiem here. There's... Oh, yeah, he's gonna check the fairy fountain, of course.
Yep. Neighbor's Fairy out here.
And then, yeah, I think, like, anything available to him, he pretty much has to go child.
Horseback archery, but
Yeah, I
No,
can't
that's
see
a
anybody
prelude.
crossing for 2 checks.
Why don't you, yeah. Okay, so that was last slingshot on the light arrow cutscene.
Very cool. And yeah, he's gonna be checking Big Post first, but I would imagine he goes child immediately after this.
Going out here,
Grabbing a
get the
skull?
skull or set the time? Setting the time.
Setting the time. So,
Dumpe digging.
yeah. Yeah, so potentially gonna dip back into the well with Zelda's Lullaby. He knows Dead Hand has 2 checks, so 2 checks at this point feels like a lot in Sully's shoes.
Which if he's just going to be going back over checks that Yo-Yo's already done, just giving time back to him.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is a... Despite how it might have seemed like a few minutes ago, before we saw the ice, it's been a very close race this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, this one has been pretty interesting. The logic behind the seed has definitely been super interesting.
Fairly linear until you get to the last items, but very interesting nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
See, that Rudos was behind storms in Trail, which was not hinted anywhere. Not even on a path location for the song. Or Alright, and we're seeing flame storage from Soli, which makes sense. Might get an out of logic magic. I've seen magic here a lot, to be honest. We know
Yeah,
it's not
probably
that
more
way
than
today.
you should.
Right. Oh, messing it up.
Yeah, I think at this point you just kind of gotta bail. It's not gonna be burned for it though, so no worries. I think like the big deciding factor here for Sully is gonna be like whether he checks the Zora's Fairy Fountain when he's child or when he's adult. Because if he checks it when he's adult, like maybe he continues into ice. Like you probably continue into ice.
Well, with Forest already completed, he doesn't really need the song from there anymore.
That is true. Although you have no info on whether it's like Sarias or Minuets, so maybe like you could pick it up for the potential 2 checks.
Yeah.
But like Shadow is just so
many more checks.
And like you have like the Din's path to Twin Rova, like maybe you're thinking the Din's is gonna lead to your strength 2, even though like I mean at this point he's probably thinking like obviously the Din's is for keys and spirit.
Right.
But just having that like extra pull towards Shadow, being like, okay, it could be for that, but it could also be for this. And Shadow's a great place to look for items.
It is.
It's definitely like possible that
There's
you could
just
just bail
another
at
strength
magic.
there. Yeah.
That's definitely possible too.
I could see him doing it as child, either before or after Jabu. Like, personally, I prefer to do it before Jabu, but I know a lot of people do it after if Jabu is required. But with Jabu being a stone, I could see him going back there as child just to do the fountain.
Yeah, I think like with it being a stone and like rank chest already hinted and like either magic or strength gives you a lot of checks, so like realistically you might only need one of the 2 to kind of make or break the seed. It's definitely possible like you just go in there just to do the 1 check and just hope like if this is an item I need, it's going to lead to many checks, so I may as well just do this 1 check.
Oh yeah, and we also have the hint that Ferora's Wind is where it's at the bottom of Icy Waters. So he could just grab the magic, find the magic there, grab the Ferora's Wind, go into ice, set it, and then immediately dip to Shadow.
That's true.
Like you thought Yo-Yo was going to do. Or somebody thought Yo-Yo was going to do.
Actually, yeah, both players could just end up in Shadow, and there's another strength in there. And at that point, like, I think this is actually a super close race if it gets to that point. Because Yo-Yo's just finishing up the end of Forest here, and Sully's gonna clear up these domain checks along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see, like, he's just pushing for whatever check is directly in front of him at the moment. He's gonna do the torches, then he's gonna go up. I guess he's just setting up flame storage now.
I mean, with that torch, can't you just jump from the top of the waterfall?
Yeah, you can.
So, setting up beforehand, you can get it thrown, jump off the waterfall down to the bottom. Save a little bit of time on walking back down.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting. Nobody really does it like this. Like, there's like typically two camps that people sit in, and it's either like you light the torches on your way down to do the rupees, or you like set up flame storage at the very top and then just do it, like do all the torches before getting any of the rupees. And this, like in terms of time spent, I think this sits somewhere in between those two.
Right. Also, diving headfirst into the rock, not very good for your health.
No, definitely not. Don't try this at home. So it's kind of interesting. Like, I think people who haven't moved over to the other strat because like it is a little bit luck based or whatever, I think like possibly people should try migrating over to this strat because I think it is actually faster than the strat that the majority of people do.
Right. It does seem a bit faster, doesn't it? So, not going up to the fountain.
Yeah, which is good for him. Of course, since he turned in the letter, it can only be for ice at this point. Like, that's not going to benefit you in any other way.
Right.
If you're not going into Jabu. So, gonna clear out Child Goron City. Now that you have the ZL, you can do the pot. And then I think he's gonna go back adult and just go straight to ice.
With Yo-Yo's position, if you want to do GTG, Epona's 100%. It's just faster.
Yeah, but if you reverse, you gotta check.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yo-Yo has magic, so he would get Wasteland if he reversed. I guess it just depends on if you want to do Wasteland or not.
Yeah. You can also do Colossus Fairy because he hasn't checked that with his ZL, I believe.
Oh, true. Okay. I take back the 100% part. I would say if you're just going for GTG and nothing else, like 75%, but if you want to get the other ones, you do that one. It really depends on what you want to do on your way there. Picking up the rain just in case. I'm not sure if he goes Shadow or if he goes to GTG here. They're both about the same in terms of checks, to be honest. I would say GTG is faster than Shadow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. The thing is, like, Shadow gets you checks right now, whereas GTG, you have to travel there before you get any checks, and like...
Yeah. Oh, you gotta do all the fortress stuff too.
Mm-hmm. And I think, like, if you're looking for one item, like, you just want to do checks right now, right? Like, it just feels good to do checks right now.
Huh.
As far as the result of the race, like, this doesn't actually mean anything, I guess. We know there's a strength in GTG, but we don't know that this is necessarily the wrong choice.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what he finds here.
Didn't I say the first two checks here like hours ago for the hook shot?
Mm-hmm. I think at that point it was for the Kokiri sword.
Oh yeah, that too. Oh
So
yeah,
the hovers
in the past, yeah.
Deku potentially.
Tiny chest. Yeah, that's true. He still has the Din's Twin Robo Path, so
Mm-hmm.
technically the better play because it could just be for key logic, but it also could be for a strength too.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have no idea where Hammer is, and that other strength we know where it's at is Hammer locked.
So it's gonna be interesting to see if Sully bails at magic here.
If he does the fountain first, grab Furores, he might dip. He might not.
I think. Okay, actually, like thinking about the Furores, since he's only missing one item, I think you just skip Furores, dump a save in ice, and then go to Shadow. And then if nothing's Shadow, I think you just reset the whole thing.
That could work
Unless
too.
you're like considering Suns as a possibility, but
Oh god.
it's I don't know. Like maybe you do just take the Furores for safety. I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
Suns. Oh yeah, we have a hint for Sun's on Grave. Yeah, so never mind. Yeah, I honestly just expect him to straight Nocturne here.
No?
No? Yeah, so he's either dumping a save or he's just gonna clear ice because he's here.
Mm-hmm. If he clears ice because he's here. Or is he going for that Furores?
He's
He
thinking
thought about
it. And yeah, he's just going for the clear. So this is gonna be Sully hitting Go mode in ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yo-Yo
First check too.
has to get through this room to get to any more checks, but could be on his way to a second strength as well, for all we know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Yo-Yo finds a strength right here, it would make for a fun finale.
Mm-hmm.
If not, Sully's just kind of be just ahead and finish faster. And there's no contest with that. Either way, we're coming up on the end of the seed now.
So rude.
It would.
Alright, so within this chest on Sully's side is going to be his Go mode. We're going to see him rush straight to Spirit as soon as he picks this up.
There we go. Let's go mode. Right. Hour
Yeah,
and 50-minute in.
You gotta think if silvers are not in this next room for Yo-Yo, it's looking probably like a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing by the looks of it. Of course, if it's in the next chest, like maybe there's some boss key shenanigans. I don't know. Somebody decides to light some torches, somebody doesn't.
We're gonna keep trying to make it a good race. I mean, it's a good race regardless, but at
There's
this
still-
point, it's Yo-Yo's falling further and further behind the farther they go in here, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, early boss key is kind of going to seal the deal.
Yeah. That's what now? You only need 3 keys now?
Mm-hmm. And one of them is guaranteed on the boulder chest over here.
Yep. Also, sadly, not a ZL seed with the ZL locked strength or ZL locked magic and ZL boss key.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad.
Yeah, and I guess like technically one of the strengths was logically ZL locked, but
Right.
I mean we don't care too much about that. I mean,
We
the other
never
one
wish
could
that
be
on people.
logically ZL locked as well. We still have no idea where this hammer is.
Right.
That is strength 2 Shadow, but
There
I
it
think
is.
it's too little
Shadow
too
pot.
late.
No, this is still.
There's still Rova RNG, there's still the tower climb. This could, I mean, like...
This could still be close.
It's not necessarily over.
I mean, at most, he's like, what? A minute and a half, 2 minutes behind in Spirit? If that?
Something like that, yeah.
Question is, was that strength faster than the GGG strength?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, the way Sully did it, like, the GTG strength was
His last
the
check.
last check he did around the loop.
Mm-hmm. But if he did full right side first,
Yeah, if you just
or
like go to GTG
went left
and
first,
commit to right side, like, you definitely find that pretty quick.
mm-hmm. And then if you go left side first, it's still pretty quick. Not as quick, but still pretty quick.
It's decent, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're only looking for strength 2, it's just as likely to be left side as right side. Like, the only reason you would do right side in the absence of strength 2 is because you're thinking about doing the strength 2 lock checks while you're in GTG. But if you're only looking for strength 2, then that's just not the case. And it doesn't matter what order you do the checks in. Like, the only thing that matters is that you find the strength 2 as early as you can.
Alright, that's all the keys we need.
Also, Sully getting a little bit of, I want to say,
Sun-faced troll.
fuckery with the switch there.
I call it sun-faced troll.
I actually am not familiar with that one. Yeah, I would imagine cutscene stacking, although like cutscene stacking is something that people do intentionally in that room pretty often. I'm not sure if he like interacted with the sun, like talking to it or something. So
He did
you don't need to
once.
check this. You don't need to check this. Run. Don't
This
push
just
dudes
habits.
also.
That is entirely habit. Oh yeah, that's right. With the skulls, if you hit dins, it like crashes your game or soft locks it.
Yeah, your game will crash if your Din's Fire hits those white bubbles, but he has good control.
All right,
He,
lowering the
did not push the
platform
button.
at 56. This will be a good measure of exactly how far behind Yo-Yo is here. Yeah, Yo's had a really good spirit here.
Like
Really
this,
cut down on that lead.
This can really just come down to Rova RNG, honestly. Or like Stalfos messing about in Ganon's tower, or like just
Yeah.
Like,
Being hit by an iron knuckle once.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Sully's in one-shot range. It's kind of monk-ass.
It is a little spooky, yeah. Of course, like, with racers of this caliber, you wouldn't expect mistakes to be made.
Oh no.
But with the nerves added in and everything, oh no. Okay, that's a little bit of a setback.
I accidentally hit the roars. Tried to mash through the menu, accidentally hit the furrows.
Yeah.
That's probably the race there. And immediately takes it off of his C-stick.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah, sometimes you just get so used to having certain equips in certain dungeons, and you go to pull out your bow and you warp to Shadow Temple.
Luckily, I can get back to where he was really quickly. It's just...
I guess in this case it was probably to pull out a bomb, but yeah. Soli with the clean Twin Rova fight, and it didn't get horrible RNG, so probably not going to be losing any time on this fight. Yeah, and with Spirit down, the only thing standing between Sully and his finish is going to be Ganon's Tower.
Yep. A couple Dynalphos, a couple Stalfos, Salt and Pepper, and a big pig.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, this would have been really close if it wasn't for that accidental Furor's Wind. Oof.
Yeah, I think honestly, like, at this point, the best you can hope for is that Sully just has the cleanest tower ever, and that the Furors didn't make a difference anyway.
Right. Also, happy 2 hours. We missed the 1 hour mark, but shout outs to our runners, yoyocarina and Soli. Shout outs to our 2 trackers this morning, Melqui and Sheikah. Shout outs to my co-com here, Drew. And shout outs to our restreamer, Tomel.
Yeah, and of course, shoutouts to my co-commentator, Madbunk Adam.
Been a great early morning race.
Yeah.
Nice way to start the day.
It's been a very, very interesting seed. In terms of like the logic, the routing, like the logic was just silly.
Oof.
Yo-Yo is actually French, so there is a French restream going on Zoro's channel, I believe, which is Zoro275, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was Zoro Disco.
Zoro Disco, maybe.
Yeah.
Zoro
Disco. Okay. But yes, Yo-Yo is actually French. Yeah, she changed it recently.
Okay.
Or relatively recently, too.
Yeah, very clean climb.
Yeah.
And with Big Goron Sword, I can't imagine the rest of the seed is going to go anything but clean.
Mm-hmm. But no, with how this seed has gone, I imagine both runners at this point in time were watching the race room very closely to see if they're the one that finished.
Yeah, especially with how linear everything felt.
Mm-hmm. This is one of those races where you find all your items and you're like, oh, I'm going to hawk my eyes onto the race room when I'm not in the middle of something just to see why my opponent hasn't finished yet.
Also, this is a sort of rare occurrence, but not having Hammer here for Ganon means we're gonna see Big Goron Sword make a reappearance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we are 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 38 seconds in. It's time for some bacon and pulled pork sandwiches. Here's Ganon. Oh yeah, nut strats.
He has the nuts equipped. I can't imagine he thinks nuts are faster than equipping Big Goron Sword.
Yoshi. Right. Nuts is just a safety equip there when you don't have hammer if you accidentally miss your jump slash. Yeah, there comes the big Goron. Alright. Yeah, Yo-Yo's having a very clean climb as well so far. So this would have been a very close race without that accidental warp.
Yeah, I was
really
gonna say,
sucks.
other than the warp, his execution, throughout the whole seed has been really, really good. But in these last few minutes, basically just zero mistakes.
I always forget you can stun him with light arrows if he's not in the middle of attack. Alright, phase 2? Or was that the end? Oh, that was
That's
the end.
the end. Yep. So with one final slash, Soli will be finishing up here and going on to face the Salty Sponge in the next round. So let's get our GGs in the chat.
Yep.
And congratulations to Soli.
That's a time of 2:05:34. Very nice. That is a GG's to Soli. Yeah, I imagine Yo-Yo's gonna finish up within the next couple of minutes here.
Yeah, I think if you made it this far, you may as well just complete the seed.
Oh yeah. Honestly, even if my opponent dot guns, if I'm at least finished, if I'm at least going to Ganon's Tower or in Ganon's Tower, I'll just finish it out. You know? Right. Not sure if we'll get Soli in for a interview or not. I know Yo-Yo doesn't like to interview in English just because he thinks his English is bad, which, can't blame him for that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can hardly even speak English most of the time, so.
That's a move.
And it's supposed to be my first language.
Right. But no, this is a very technical race too. Got some interesting strategies from Soli, like that Death Warp River. And then, of course,
Death
Yo-Yo
Warp
just had
River. It's got some
clean execution.
Interesting peaks all over the place that nobody else has really picked up on. Yeah, Sully is doing a lot of interesting things. And I think more eyes need to be on Sully in terms of, like, kind of picking up these strats, because he's doing a lot of things nobody else is doing.
Mm-hmm. Like that routing for domain. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that peek at Colossus as a child, I didn't know you could side hop into that, the wall there and look up at the hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did not know that either. Yo-Yo entering the second phase of the Ganon fight here.
Mm-hmm.
Going for the jump slash strat. Yeah, after missing one, just playing it safe, going for the crouch stabs, which everybody's pretty much accustomed to. Yeah, all in all, pretty clean race from both these runners. I think they can probably be pretty happy with how they performed here.
Right. I'd say, well, besides the Feror's win play besides that, what really cost Yo-Yo this race was not getting at least one song as child before going as adult.
Yeah.
That's what, at least in my opinion, because that would have gotten Storms earlier, which would have pushed him towards basically all of his items. But that is a time of 2:08:57, still a very good finish time.
Yeah, absolutely.
GG's for Yo-Yo. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting an interview. You have any final thoughts?
Honestly, no. I mean, if you're just tuning in or tuned in late, I would absolutely recommend watching this one all the way through, because this logic was a little bit wacky. And it was just honestly a whole lot of fun. And thanks for having me here.
Oh yeah. Always great to have a early morning stream that we actually get to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I would definitely recommend watching this back. As Drew said, it was a very good race. Saw some interesting tricks and peaks and stuff, as we've mentioned. But I think we can hand it off to Tomo for future scheduling stuff and the end here.
There we go. Sounds like a good plan. Thank you both for coming today. Thank you to Mel and
Ika.
Thank you for tracking. To our runners, Yoshi, Yo-Yo. Yoshi's in the chat right there. I just read his name quick and it just went right there. Yo-Yo. Thank you for Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo, Karina, and Soli for giving us a great race to watch. And yeah, so tonight, or I guess the rest of the day, since it's still early morning, at least in the US, we've got an ALTTP pilot race at around 3 Eastern, so in about 5 hours from now. 2.5 hours after that, we got a Z2R Max Ramdo race, some Skyward Sword Wing Clash. A half an hour after that, more Max Rando for Z2R, And then tonight, I think that's wrong for the date, but it looks like also tonight we've got a ALTTP NMG League Season 3 at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is in about 12 hours from now. So looking like a, good amount of stuff here today. So if you check back in throughout the day, you should probably find something that's worth watching. For right now, I'm going to send this all over to Spike, mostly because I'm lazy and I can't find anybody else really easily to raid. So we're going to go over to Spike.
Fair enough.
Thank you, everyone, coming out to watch, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Peace.
Bye.